Good morning, all of you. Now we are back with the chapter Outcome of Democracy. As we have already discussed about two outcomes, that is political outcome and after that economic outcome. Now we will start with the social outcome of democracy. When we are talking about the social outcome, and this is the outcome in which democracy is 100% successful. So now first we will start with the accommodation of social diversity. Do democracies lead to peaceful and harmonious life among citizens? It will be a fair expectation that democracy should produce a harmonious social life. As we have already discussed in earlier chapters, how democracies accommodate various social divisions. You just remember the chapter number 1, power sharing, and in that chapter we have discussed case studies about Belgium, how Belgium was able to solve its ethnic problem, how Belgium successfully negotiated differences among ethnic population. So democracies usually develop a procedure to conduct their competition. This reduces the possibility of these tensions becoming explosive or violent. No society, as we are also living in a society where diversities are there. So we cannot say that any society can fully and permanently resolve conflicts among different groups, but we can certainly learn to respect these differences, and we can also evolve mechanism to negotiate the differences. And democracy is the best suited to produce this outcome. Non-democratic regime often turn a blind eye or to suppresses internal social differences, but democracy is the only solution to handle social differences, divisions, and conflicts. But the example of Sri Lanka reminds us that a democracy must fulfill two conditions in order to achieve this outcome. Number one, it is necessary to understand that democracy is not simply ruled by majority opinion, because the majority always needs to work with the minority so that governments function to represent the general view, because majority and minority are not permanent. And the second thing is, it is also necessary that rule by majority does not become rule by minority. In terms of religion or race or linguistic groups, rule by majority means that in case of every decision or in case of every elections, different persons and groups may and can form a majority. Democracy remains democracy only as long as every citizen has a chance of being in majority at some point of time. If someone is barred from being in majority on the basis of birth, then the democracy rule ceases to be accommodative for that person or group. So democracy is 100% successful in accommodation of social diversities. Now we'll discuss about dignity and freedom of the individuals, citizens. Democracy stands much superior to any other form of government in promoting dignity and freedom of the individuals. Every individual, every citizen wants to receive respect from fellow beings. Sometimes conflicts arises among individuals because some feel that they are not treated with due respect, and The passion for respect and freedom are the basis of democracy. Democracy throughout the world have recognized this, at least in principle. This has been achieved in various degrees in various democracies. Now we'll discuss the case of dignity of women. Most societies across the world were historically male-dominated societies. Long struggles by women have created some sensitivity today that respect to and equal treatment of women are necessary. But that does not mean that women are actually always treated with respect. But once if it is recognized, it is easier for women to wage a struggle. In a non-democratic setup, this unacceptability would not have legal basis. The same is true of caste inequalities. Democracy in India has strengthened the claims of the disadvantaged and discriminated caste for equal status and equal opportunities. There are instances still of caste-based inequalities, but they are not having legal status, moral foundations. Perhaps it is the recognition that makes ordinary citizens value their democratic rights. So now, if we will see all these outcomes that indicate that democracy is much better than other forms of government. But expectation from democracy always function as the criteria for judging any democratic country. And the most distinctive feature about democracy that its examination never gets over. As democracy passes one test, it produces another test. As people get some benefits of democracy, they ask for more and want to make democracy even better. And this is the reason when we ask people about the way democracy functions, instead of giving proper answer, they always come up with the more expectation and many complaints. And this is the reason the people are complaining is itself a testimony to the success of democracy. It shows that the people have developed awareness and ability to expect and to look critically at power holders and the high and the mighty. A people expression of dissatisfaction with democracy shows the success of the democratic project. It transforms people from the status of subject into of a citizen. Most individuals today believe that their vote makes difference to the way the government is run and to their own self-interest. And this is the success of democracy.